We can go ahead and get started. Welcome all our guests to our webinar where we will be talking about and sharing information with you on the John Lewis Public Administration Program. I'm Dr. Halim Malik Francis, and I am the founding director and professor of practice for the program. And I have my two of my colleagues here joining me, Professor Brian McNamara and Professor Tiara Richardson Summers, who are also professors of practice in the program. And Professor McNamara is also an associate director for the program. So before we get started, I'd like to encourage you to share with us in the chat where you are joining us from. And as we move through the presentation, please feel free to put any questions in the chat that might come up, and we'll address them as we move through our conversation and our presentation. So as we get started, I'd love for you all to learn a little bit about us. And I'll start by inviting my colleagues to share a bit about their background and the work that they do in the program. And then I'll go last, and then we can move through the presentation. So Professor McNamara, let's start with you.
All right. Thanks so much, Halima. Welcome, everybody. My name is Brian McNamara. I'm the Associate Director and a Professor of Practice with the John Lewis Public Administration Program. I joined the faculty here in May of 2021 after 21 years on active duty with the U.S. Coast Guard. As a practitioner, I was a commissioned officer, judge advocate for the Coast Guard, serving in a variety of instructor, operational, and legal positions with a particular focus on maritime regulation and the maritime policy process. I hold a JD from William & Mary, a Master of Laws in Admiralty from Tulane University, and I'm a doctoral candidate in public administration and policy with Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia, where I plan to complete that PhD this summer. And with that, I'll turn it over to Professor Summers.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tiara Richardson Summers. I am the newest faculty member, recently joining as a professor of practice. I previously worked with the program as an adjunct professor. My background is in government work, working with the Florida Department of Health for several years in the investigations and the regulation side. I am also a doctoral candidate at Old Dominion University in the Public Administration and Policy program, and I plan to graduate this May.
Wonderful. And as I shared, I am Dr. Halim Malik Francis, and I have been with Tulane for right at 4 years. I joined the university to develop and lead the development and launch of this program. So it is work that is very near and dear to me. Prior to coming to the university in the School of Professional Advancement, I worked in the nonprofit sector in human services and higher education for about 20 years. So a lot of my background is situated around the nonprofit sector, philanthropy, also dealing with issues of organizational capacity building and operationalizing equity within our organizations. My research also focuses on the same. So throughout my doctoral work, I had the opportunity to be able to match theory with practice, which was an exciting opportunity to do and focus on that work and see in many ways if what we're learning in our classrooms and what we're learning in theoretical frameworks is really aligned with what the experience of professionals might be in the working space. I earned my master's degree in sociology of education and my doctorate in higher ed administration, both from New York University, and my undergraduate degree is in English from Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia. I do see here, I saw in the chat that someone is from New Bern or joining us from New Bern, North Carolina, which is exciting. I'm a Winston-Salem, North Carolina native, so welcome to my fellow North Carolinians. So thank you for joining us. So as we go to the next slide, I'll be talking a bit about the School of Professional Advancement at Tulane University, which I think will give you a lot of great context for the design, the development of our program, and what our students experience. So just to give you some background on the program, first and foremost, we are named for civil rights and public service leader, late Congressman John Lewis. We recently had our naming dedication in October, and in doing so, that really solidifies and articulates what we focus on in our program. The mission of our program is to prepare forward-thinking, responsive, and ethical public service professionals to effectively lead within a diverse and ever-changing civic sector. And in doing so, we really work to be responsive to the needs of contemporary society, to be evidence and results driven in our approaches, and to be focused on making a positive impact in a way that prioritizes equity, inclusion, and diversity as well. I share all of that against the backdrop of the School of Professional Advancement, which is where we are situated within Tulane University. And you can see here that the School of Professional Advancement, or SOPA as we call it, has been a key part of Tulane University and the mission of the university for over 130 years. So Tulane was founded in 1834 as the Medical College of Louisiana, and the School of Professional Advancement in its early iterations began offering classes as early as 1886. And from the very beginning, we have had a commitment to adult and professional learners that has lasted well over a century. Next slide, please. So why SOPA? That is a key question that a lot of our students have as they're considering continuing their education. And as I think about the School of Professional Advancement, we are certainly well positioned to support the needs, the unique needs of students who are adult learners and professionals who are already working in their careers, as well as students who are making the transition from being undergrads if they're going into graduate study, and those who are kind of pivoting professionally and they want to explore some other options. A lot of our work, a lot of the courses that you'll find throughout the school more broadly are offered online. Our programs and our faculty are immediately relevant to what you're going to see in the workplace and in the field. We offer outstanding student support and also a level of flexibility and affordability that you'll find all under the great brand and the great name of Tulane, which carries weight nationally and globally. So within SOPA, I shared that we have online classes, and this slide here gives you a snapshot of what students experience through our online and in-person courses at SOPA. So our courses are highly interactive and engaging and relevant in presenting information and helping you to build the skills that you'll need to be successful in your careers. The topics that we focus on within our classes really give great examples of real world experiences. So we put a high emphasis on experiential learning. They are interactive. You also get access to professionals who are working in the field. The majority of our faculty are professionals who have a depth of experience on a national scale, and we'll share more about our faculty a little bit later, but they are one of the crown jewels of what our students experience in the SOPA education. And then the learning environments that we have are for every student style. So we make sure that we're able to accommodate any needs that you may have as a student in the design and in the delivery of our courses that are offered online. So we really put a lot of focus on the design of the courses with your experience in mind, and to make sure that you're able to get the most out of learning, whether it be online or in person here at SOPA. Next slide. So again, just to share a little bit more about our online learning at SOPA, and these are some examples of what students experience in some of our online learning environments. So we do quite a bit of simulations in some of the courses that are offered in SOPA, and that's what you'll see here with the metaverse that offers engaging and interactive activities. We also use tools such as podcasts and webinars and a variety of ways to engage you, recognizing that learning doesn't just take place by reading an article, by reading a textbook. We really make sure that students are engaged in the learning experience, and particularly online. Next slide. So I want to share a bit about our faculty. So these are some of the faculty members of the public administration program here at SOPA. And our faculty, as you heard from myself, Professor McNamara, Professor Richardson Summers, our backgrounds are really diverse. We have a broad spectrum and a broad scope of experience that is really representative of what the opportunities are in the field of public service. So our faculty members have worked in nonprofit leadership. We have faculty members who have been formally elected and appointed officials. We have faculty members who are scholars and researchers on the latest topics of innovation that our local governments and our state governments are navigating. We have faculty members who focus on assessment and evaluation and equity and inclusion. So as a student in the program, you have access to these individuals. You have the ability to talk to them about your career path. You have the ability to ask them questions. In many cases, you have the ability to work with them and hear their feedback on projects that simulate what you will experience in the workplace. So I'm really proud of the faculty that we have in the public administration program, as I believe that they not only have the credentials to teach and to research in this world, in this space, but they are time-tested, experience-tested professionals who have worked in public service. So you stand to gain a lot by working with the faculty that we have on board. So now I want to invite Professor Richardson Summers to talk a little bit about one of her classes so that you can get some insight into what the student experience is like and how our faculty members engage with our students.
Awesome. Thank you, Halima, for this opportunity. Thank you for all who have joined us today. I'm glad to have this opportunity to talk about one of my favorite courses to teach in the program, which is a course called Data-Informed Leadership, Management, and Decision-Making. When I started teaching this course, I had all the apprehension from the students because they think about a data course, they start to panic, they feel like I'm going to have them running statistical packages and things like that. And I think that this connects to what Halima has said about connecting the theory to practice. We're not going to have you doing things that are not going to be applicable to you out in the field. As a former management analyst in the Florida Department of Health, I was never asked to run an SPSS package and provide statistical data in my job. What I was asked about was if we have a specific issue that my higher ups wanted to know about, to provide my opinion or to provide some insight on that issue. And it's always better when you support that with data. And so that's the focus in our course, teaching you how to support things that you do in your everyday to-day job with the data that is available to you, and to have you start thinking about possible data sources that you're not using that can improve the way that you are actively involved in your organization. The result from this course is that the students come up with different solutions that will help them improve the services, the policies, and to help the resident lives from the projects that we create in this class. And so that's just one example of how we are trying to connect that theory to practice and provide you with a product that's really going to help you as you go on in your career in public administration.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. So now I'll invite Professor McNamara to talk about a bit more about the details of our program and also to share his wonderful insight on what students experience as a part of our learning community.
All right, so thanks so much, Halima. Welcome again to everybody. I'll kick off by talking a little bit about our external partnerships. And these are 4 organizations that we engage with to enhance your experience as a student. So everything we do in our program is to enhance your experience as a student. The first is the Network of Schools of Public Policy, Public Affairs, and Public Administration. This is the overall academic and professional organization for the study of public administration and public policy. We are a NASPA member school, which means we have the opportunity to draw upon all of the resources that they offer to enhance your experience, whether it's inviting speakers from NASPA, whether it's drawing upon NASPA created simulations to enhance a residency experience. We have access to all that NASPA offers to enhance your ability to grow your practical skills as a public administration professional. The International City County Management Association is particularly close to my heart as I'm the faculty advisor for our student chapter. And so we have the first ever Louisiana-based student chapter of the ICMA. Membership is completely free and it provides unparalleled opportunities for networking throughout the country with other like-minded professionals. You don't have to envision yourself going into a local government or county government job to be a member of the student chapter of the ICMA, but it's an incredible way to enhance your professional network. And then New Leaders Council and the National League of Cities are 2 other organizations that provide access to unique training and professional networking opportunities to help you grow your skills. And I'll share this. One of the things that excited me most about this program when I was looking for a position is if you're looking at other MPA programs, so many other MPA programs focus more on federal issues and issues at a broad level. One of the reasons I enjoy this program is we have such a great mix of speaking about issues that resonate at the federal level, but also at the state and local government levels. And with all of the doors that we can open for you for professional networking opportunities, because the secret is there are a lot more local governments than there are federal governments in the United States. And so there are a lot of people you can tap into to grow your network. Okay, next slide, please. And in terms of career options with a Master of Public Administration degree, the world is truly open to you. The MPA is an interdisciplinary degree that allows you to view your own work through a new perspective. And what I mean by that is you can be in any sector, private corporate sector, civil society, working in the public sector at any level of government, and a Master of Public Administration degree or one of our certificates will help you view your work in a fresh light. And so you can read the slide and see that examples include everything from local, state, federal government to public affairs, public relations. It really is a broad range of career options that an MPA will open the door for you to pursue. Next slide, please. And I'll share my thoughts on my Master of Public Administration experience is that I chose to take my MPA relatively early in my career when I was on active duty with the U.S. Coast Guard. And it did, the biggest benefit to me is it helped provide me a lens and a framework through which to make my work meaningful for the entirety of my Coast Guard career. And I ended up going to law school, which was wonderful. I enjoyed practicing as an attorney with the U.S. Coast Guard, but throughout even my time as an attorney, it was my work with the MPA degree that helped me really place my work into perspective. And we also view, one of the main themes that I hope you take away from this is our focus on giving you applied real world skills. And I would invite you to consider that it's really not so much of a dichotomy between theory and practice, but really what we do is we bridge the theory and practice. And so many of our faculty members hold doctoral degrees as well as have significant practical experience. And so attending a program such as Tulane's really gives you the best of both worlds. It allows you access to faculty who can place your work in a real world context while also building upon all of the knowledge that's been built in the field so far from a scholarly perspective. So it really does bring the best of both worlds. Next slide, please. And with Tulane University and the School of Professional Advancement, we really are highly inclusive of life stage and work experience. Our student body has a vast range of experience levels. We have folks who are mid-career professionals who are looking to make a career transition. We have folks who are coming to the end of what would traditionally be a career and are looking to pivot to something new for a second act. We also have a fair number of students who come to us straight out of undergrad. And what's wonderful, I think, is all of our students get to meet each other on the same level and exchange their different experiences and learn from each other. Another benefit about the School of Professional Advancement for you, if you're looking at other MPA programs out there, is that because we're a School of Professional Advancement and our faculty members are all professors of practice, what that means is we don't have distractions of publishing scholarly materials in peer-reviewed journals. We certainly can, and we have, right? But all of our research, to the extent that we research, is really to enhance our ability to teach you. And so our primary focus is on maintaining a high quality student experience. And so we're not going to be pulled away and distracted by research that is not necessarily related to what we're teaching in the classroom. Next slide, please. So in terms of the master's degree requirements, it's a total of 12 courses. We have 7 core courses plus 5 electives, and you are not required to, but you can choose to concentrate in one of 5 different concentrations. If you choose a concentration, then it's 4 electives in that concentration, and then you can use your 5th elective as you wish. We have a lot of students who do pick a concentration and know intentionally that they want to complete one when they start the program. We have others who come in and choose a concentration after they've completed all of the core courses. If you're in the Master of Public Administration program, we do require you to take a semester of core courses before you launch into the electives. But we have folks who come in very set on what they want to do. We have folks who change their mind. And then we have other folks who take a series of electives from across all the different concentrations. So it really is very flexible for what your needs are. Next slide, please. We also build in some great experiential components into the John Lewis Public Administration program. And that ranges from capstone experience, in addition to how we filter applied practical experiences throughout our entire program. You'll have the opportunity as a capstone host or as a capstone student to work with a capstone host organization to apply everything you've learned to that point in the program. And it was very eye-opening for me to help mentor students through this program. And as I had a taste of consulting myself ahead of that, but it's an opportunity to really work with an organization and have them view you as a subject matter expert and engage them at a strategic level to help them shape their strategic operations and to solve real world problems that they are facing. Our residency is another major experiential component of our program. It's an annual requirement, annual event required for all MPA students once during their matriculation, and graduate certificate students are always welcome to join us as well. Our next residency is going to be June 1st through 3rd here at the Uptown campus in New Orleans. And the next slides are a series of photos to document how much fun we had at our inaugural residency this past summer. This is a photo of us at Cafe Reconcile in New Orleans, which is a kind of a workforce personal development mission-based organization that happens to serve some of the best food in the Gulf South. And so we'll be joining Cafe Reconcile again this summer for our next residency. Next slide, please. We also invite and partner with other agencies in the area. You can see here, we had the honor of the United States Coast Guard sector came in to speak with us. So you can see the Coast Guard sector commander, Captain Kelly Danning, speaking, and she brought her staff with her to talk about how the U.S. Coast Guard collaborates across sectors to carry out their missions at the federal level. Next slide, please. And then this is just Exhibit C of how much fun we have during the residency. This is one of our receptions that we held to give a chance for students to interact with each other. And one of the best things we found about the residency is that we had students come in at all stages of the program. So we had students who hadn't even taken a course yet, interacting and building relationships with students who had walked in commencement 2 weeks prior. And so it's an opportunity to interact with your peers outside of the classroom and really interact with the whole breadth of the student body in the public administration program. Next slide, please. And then finally, I'll touch on the graduate certificates that we offer. If an astute attendee will notice that these also align with the MPA concentrations. The requirements are the same. And so you are welcome to start with a graduate certificate if you're interested in pursuing a certificate. The requirements are 4 courses within those specific fields, and they're stackable, which means if you complete them and then you say, you know what, I really enjoyed the School of Professional Advancement and my experience as a student, I would like to take these and apply them towards the Master of Public Administration. You can finish a certificate and then stack them into the Master of Public Administration program if you so desire. And next slide, please. And so with that, I will turn it back over to Dr. Lee Francis.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Professor McNamara. So next we have, we thought that it would be great that if you could hear directly from our students, what they experience, what their concerns might have been, and how we worked with them throughout the program. So we have a short video here that offers some student testimonial. And the audio does not seem to be working.
Okay, I just need one moment. I'm gonna stop share and then reshare.
Okay, great.
Okay, so as Anne is doing that, I'll offer this. The first student you're going to hear from is Gigi Williamson, who came to us from Norfolk, Virginia. While a student, she's in her final semester right now. As a student, she had the opportunity to take advantage of a lot of different professional organization conferences. And that's a good opportunity for me to mention that another benefit of Tulane University and the School of Professional Advancement is the vast resources we can draw upon to enhance your experience. So opportunities to attend conferences and things of that nature, we generally can provide funding to allow you to do that without out-of-pocket costs.
The online program far exceeded my expectations. I was a little hesitant to do an online program just because I was nervous about sort of feeling isolated as far as instead of like in person, sort of feeling by myself and no interaction. But this program really encourages the interaction between not only you and your classmates, but with you and the faculty and staff.
The professors and the faculty are phenomenal. And their real life experiences carries on into the coursework, and it just supports you as a student. And I think because of my experience, it just really enhanced my learning. It's a phenomenal program.
And I promise you, we did not pay them to say those lovely things about us. As you saw from Gigi and B, even in that short clip, they talked about in sharing their experiences with their professors and the impact that that's had on their learning. It's one of the things that we truly highlight in this program from our student experiences. As I shared earlier, the fact that our faculty members, they come from such a broad spectrum of experiences and careers, and our students truly benefit from that. So I was really happy that to hear our student perspective on how their experience in the John Lewis Public Administration program has been a benefit to them as they consider what their options are moving forward in their careers. So I'm going to talk a bit about some of the resources that our students have access to. And I'm not sure if everyone is seeing the blocks on the screen that I'm seeing. Are there? Okay. So I think we're going to do kind of a quick reboot of our slide deck. But as Anne is queuing that up, I want to stress to you that our program, our school, we are a community and we are dedicated to and we support your success. So everything that we do centers around the success of our students and the success in supporting the work that they're doing. Within our program, you have access to advisors who will offer you guidance as you navigate your coursework. But at the school level, we also offer resources that help you to advance as you're navigating throughout the school. Brian shared earlier about our residency, and he shared about some of our experiential components to our program. And two things that I've walked away from through these experiences, again, is that community element. Even though students are online, even though in many cases, the residency offers the first opportunity for them to meet one another, for them to meet their faculty members. They are very close-knit, and when they meet, it's almost as if they've known each other for years offline and have had opportunities to connect with one another. They ask each other for support. We work with them for support. So I just want to highlight that element as well as you are thinking about online learning specifically. So this slide here talks a bit about our credit for prior learning. And this is one of the opportunities that we have for students to utilize the professional experiences that they have to apply to their coursework. So you can earn credits towards your master's degree for the work that you have done professionally by doing a portfolio, what we call a portfolio assessment process. And in that process, you share with us what your core professional experiences have been and how they directly apply to some of the courses that we have in the program. So that can help you kind of reduce the course load that you have. As Brian shared earlier, there are 12 courses that are part of the program. There are students who can reduce that course load up to two courses by taking advantage of the credit for prior learning. So that's a wonderful resource that we offer for students. Next slide. This slide gives you a snapshot of our student success and support that we offer. So we have a dedicated academic advisor for every SOPA student. We also have advisors within our program. So Brian, myself, and Professor Richardson Summers, we also serve as advisors for students and supporting your success. We also have expert faculty, as I shared before, with industry expertise. And then you have your network of peers and colleagues and other alumni who have graduated from the program, who you can reach out to, connect with as you move through the program, but also after you graduate. So becoming a part of our program, becoming a part of the John Lewis Public Administration program offers you not only that connection and that support while you're in school, but as an alum when you graduate from the program. And then you also have a career advisor, which is a critical support that we offer to our students, because navigating and understanding how to advance professionally, how to position things like your resume, your LinkedIn profile, other tools to position yourself for career advancement is really critical to this process. So our career advisor is really creative in working with students on everything from positioning professional headshots to things, like I said, like their LinkedIn profiles and interviewing and job searches, which ultimately helps them to find the great opportunities that are out there for them after they've completed their academic careers. Next slide. So this slide talks more so about some of the aid that we offer. So I want to call your attention to the left side of the slide, the green section that highlights the tuition and financial aid access. So our program is affordable compared to many other similarly situated programs at prestigious institutions. The fee is $11.58 per credit, and the courses are 3 credits each. The entirety of the program is 36 credit hours. So you can kind of do the calculations on the total cost of tuition for the program. We do offer multiple types of aid that we have, ranging from federal grants. We have tuition discounts, and you can access those on our website. I know that there's a bit of a block there that on the list, so you may not be able to see all of them. But if you go to our website, sopa.tulane.edu, and search our, search our aid options, then you can see kind of the scope of the different opportunities that we offer. Some of those aids some of that aid, as I mentioned earlier, you can get up to 6 credit hours for work and life experience. Some of the partnerships that Professor McNamara mentioned earlier offer MOU agreements with our students where they can get course credit for participating in various professional development activities. So we really work hard to make sure that our students have access to opportunities to reduce the cost burden of their degrees and of their experiences with us. Next slide. So as you think about next steps, I hope that everyone on here is convinced and is excited about pursuing admission into the John Lewis Public Administration program. We make the application process as straightforward as possible, recognizing one that many of you are working adults and you have careers, and we want to make sure that this process is accessible for you. So our application process is pretty straightforward. We ask you a few questions where you will write essays and talk to us about your interests, talk to us about what you hope to achieve by earning a public administration, a Master of Public Administration, or earning one of our certificates. We have a modest graduation or graduate application fee, which by you attending this webinar is waived. So that's one cost that you don't have to pay. We also ask you for various pieces of documentation, including a government ID, transcripts, so that we can review your prior academic work as we consider your application. And I want to highlight that the GRE is not required. We found in our admissions processes that such standardized tests, GRE, GMAT, and others are not necessarily the indicator that best predicts success for our students. So we don't put that barrier in place for you. So we urge you to really take advantage of the opportunity to apply to the program without having to go over that additional hurdle of taking the GRE. If you've already taken it and you would like to share that information with us, we welcome you to do so, but just know that it's not required. Next slide. So here are application deadlines. We offer 3 application deadlines for students. And as you look at perhaps other programs and are considering other options, you may see that the application deadlines, they may offer 1, they may offer 2. We offer 3 start times for our students. And that's in alignment with our course terms as well. So students, as they are moving through our program, on average, if they're taking 6 credit hours per term, so spring, fall, and summer terms, that offers them the opportunity to complete the program on average in about 2 years or so. Some students complete the program in less time. And having those 3 terms that we offer really assists and helps students to do that. And you can enroll in courses in those 3 different terms as it makes sense for you to progress in the program. But typically we see about 6 credit hours or 2 courses per term. So please take advantage of that. If you enroll in courses by the early enrollment scholarship dates, there's a scholarship offered to you as well. So again, making this more affordable and making this more accessible for our students is really something that we prioritize. So with that, I want to thank you for joining us, and I would like to open the floor for any questions that may have come up as we shared information with you, or any last remarks from anyone on the call or thoughts. And you can feel free to come off mute, or you can put your questions in the chat, whatever you're most comfortable with. So grad certificates. So the grad certificates are comprised of 4 courses. So you have to take 4 classes to finish the graduate certificates. If you are in, so to answer your question directly, yes, they can be completed in 10 months, given that the course requirements are not as extensive as the full MPA degree. So at whatever pacing you'd like to kind of follow to meet that 10-month timeline, that's completely feasible. Other questions? Well, while you are perhaps thinking about questions, I want to invite you to feel free to reach out to us. My contact information is here. Professor McNamara's contact information is here. Professor Richardson Summers, if you could pop yours, your email address or whatever you're comfortable with in the chat, that would be great. We also have here listed our social media tags that we have for the School of Professional Advancement, as well as the John Lewis Public Administration Program. So I hope that you will join us and follow us and stay in touch with us in the future. So as we close out, Professor McNamara, Professor Richardson Summers, do you have anything else to add?
Thank you, Dr. Lee Francis. I appreciate that. I would just offer, I look forward to seeing you. I do hope that you consider applying for this program and joining us, and feel free to reach out to me at any time if you have any questions.
Still need it. Am I in? Okay. I echo those sentiments. Please feel free to reach out to me directly by email. I am very responsive to email, so I'll probably reply right back. And feel free to ask any questions that you may have about the program from a professor's perspective. And if you would like to connect with some of our current students, we can connect you with students who are currently in the program so that you can talk to them about their experience.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. And I'll add to that, if you are interested, occasionally we have opportunities for students to sit in on classes on our live web meetings and Zoom meetings for our classes. So if that is something that you're interested in, feel free to email any one of us and we can help you schedule that and facilitate that process for any upcoming course preview opportunities that we have. So just reach out to us and let us know, and we'll assist you with that as well. But just in closing, I'm so glad that you've joined us today, and I hope to see you as an applicant in our program. And I may be biased, but I think that the John Lewis Public Administration Program is the absolute best program for public administration, those who are considering public service careers, that exists, I'll say, globally. So we welcome you to continue to consider our program and reach out if you have any questions. You're so welcome. Philip, if you have a question about the economic development concentration or certification, you can reach out to myself or Professor McNamara as well for any questions specifically about that concentration or certification. Great. Thanks so much. I think we are good. Are we still, okay, let's start recording.